Herrow Fuzzies! Welcome back to Sunny Peachy. And I'm Peachy. Today, I'll be painting. It's been a while since I made any art. It came up because I was cleaning out my art supply box and I realized that I still had open acrylic that has not been used for a long time. So I decided it's a good time to paint again. Since I didn't have anything specific I wanted to paint, I just went onto my pinboard for drawing and saw this beautiful picture of blueberries, and that's what I'll be painting. All the process I've used will be in the description. Before painting, the first thing to do is to prime or gesso your canvas. I normally don't do that, but I wanted to see if there's any difference, so I painted a layer of white acrylic. If you do, remember to paint all the surface including the sides. Before painting a base color, make sure the white paint is dry. It's not necessary to paint the base, I just wanted to paint out the background first, then paint the blueberries. After that, let it dry. Most of the times, I sketch out the shapes and position of the subject, but it doesn't really matter this time. So I just wanted to do freestyle and I just wanted to paint. So I drew out the layout using the colors I wanted to follow up. It's really rough, it's not in the right position, but it's okay. Since I'm using acrylic, it is easy to cover up the paint if there is any mistake. Most acrylic paint dries darker, so I mix the paint lighter to use. And if you have no intention of making any brush stroke, it is better to use a smooth brush and paint it thinly. Acrylic paint dries semi-fast according to how thick you paint it on, so if you want to blend it, you can add more paint and then mix it on the canvas. Most acrylic paint dries darker, so I mix the paint lighter to use. If you have no intention to make any brush stroke, it is better to use with a smooth brush and paint it thinly. Acrylic dries semi-fast according to how thick you laid the paint on. So if you want to blend it, you can take a little bit of time to do it on a canvas. Since it doesn't dry down like watercolor, so I opted to mix the colors on the canvas. It is a little bit risky, but it's fun to try. Some of the acrylic paint colors are not as opaque, so I mixed some colors with white and adjusted by adding other colors to make the exact color that I need. It is just how I do it. You could just add layers of the same color and wait for it to dry, then paint over another layer. But since I don't want to do that, I just use my own method. It is more time consuming and obviously you will use more paint to do that, but I just like doing it that way. I don't have the correct way to paint the painting. It's more like, oh, this seems like the right time to paint this part. As acrylic paint can cover up certain mistakes, this does not limit you to paint which part first. For me, I tend to leave the more detailed parts until the end to paint. It is also the easiest to paint the background first, then add details as you paint. I forgot how cool it feels to blend with acrylic paint because it does not dry immediately. You can add a layer of paint on, then take your sweet time to blend it. Amazing. Painting the base color of the subject. Like that's easier to map out the shape of it or the tone that you're going for. Look at me making the dots on the canvas straight from the paint tubes. I would have never done it before. Just winging it and going with the flow, blending and adding color on the top. Whoa, the shapes of the blueberries has been formed. Marvelous. Building the background, changing bit by bit. It is obviously a nice reference, but I want to change some things. Not lying, I was struggling, not the best when it comes to painting the background. Painting little by little. Don't you just feel like painting your favorite part already? I kept thinking, when, Blueberry? Blueberry turn, when? Okay, at last I moved back to mixing the colors on a palette. There are times that art doesn't seem to go well and I don't feel like doing it again, but this time I really don't want to give in as I've been not making any art. This is my getting back to it, and I have to complete it no matter what, even if it takes forever. Struggling? It's okay. Take a break, come back to it later. Decided the base isn't good, and so I decided to change a different color, and I was like, sky, yes, yes, sky. You can see why painting the background after painting the subject is harder, because there's so many things you have to avoid painting. It is good that I did not start the details of the blueberries or the leaves, or else I'll be really upset covering it up by painting the background again. One more thing that I love doing, which is when I'm painting larger areas that are light, I paint with white first and add a color of choice. This time I'm painting sky, so I'm adding blue, add the white first, then add blue on top afterwards. The blending is so flawless. Also, you can add some tint while you add it. For the clouds, just keep adding white on top, then blend some of the edges out, or if you want it to be faded, just blend while adding to the back. Keep doing the same thing until you think is enough.
Clock strikes midnight, fireworks light. For a moment it feels just right. Smiling faces, warm embraces, possibilities all ignite. Then the next morning I drive to work. People annoy me and I'm spilling
Yes, time for the
coffee
blueberries.
all over my favorite shirt. Why do my New Year's resolutions never reach their full
Working on the details of the leaves while waiting for the blueberries to dry before adding more
It all
details.
fades away in January. This year I'll be patient. I'll see beauty in all the little things. Promises fill the room. I still fear spring. 'Cause the next morning we're late for school. People annoy us, and being nice just ends up making us feel like fools. Why do our New Year's resolutions never reach their full evolutions? Faced with the day, it all fades away in January. Writing down a list of all the changes, plans and fancy phrases. Can't it be enough to always try to do our best? What if my New Year's resolutions never held any real solutions? What if each day, sunshine or gray, I wake up and say that I'll let this day take me?
Don't think I have much else to say. I changed the angle of the shot so you can see the painting process clearer.
Maybe this could work, but secrets are outbound. Left cheek hurts in the tongue when I press down, and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Will you say something more than you understand? But you say nothing. How are we here again? Will you say something more than you understand? But you say nothing. How are we here again? I know I made you feel like you weren't good enough. I'm sorry. Searching for the 20, thinking nothing's missing. But we were just different. Tried so hard to fit all our pieces, and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Will you say something more than you understand? But you say nothing. How are we here again? Will you say something more than you understand? But you say nothing. How are we here again? Same on this, same on this, but how? 'Cause this tastes like a cut, and tell me that you're not searching for a fix, just a little bit to go back to the start. But this smells like gasoline, you know what I mean. One wrong moment and we know it'll burn down everything. Will you say something more than you understand? taking pictures in my mind. Got the sun in my hair, blue in your eyes. I could lay here all my life. Time moves slowly, green goes from my eyes. I can't get enough of you, baby. It's the love for me. Said that it's the me for you. You know how to make me feel pretty when you say you need me. Love never felt so free. No. I keep it on lock for you. I'ma keep a spot for you. All my exes blocked for you. Got plans, I'ma drop for you. There's no need to choose. Nothing I wouldn't do. So I'ma keep it locked for you.
This is the last part. Thank you for joining me today, and see you next time. Keep blooming, and tata fuzzies.
Anything to get a little time with you. Haven't felt like this in a while. You really know how to make a girl smile. Giving you time is more than I ask. Can you see me? Oh, you make love and you easy take. Nothing for me to complete you, baby. Ooh, and I usually keep to myself, but you give me